CBS All Access. It's kind of the redheaded stepchild of the streaming services, to say the least. Fun fact about CBS All Access, I think I told you guys this a few weeks ago. This has been around for 6 years. It launched in October of 2014. I didn't realize until fairly recently it was as old as it was, and makes it one of the first, I guess you would say, streaming services. But here we are. It is rebranding at the beginning of next year, 2021. It will be known as Paramount Plus. It joins such streaming services as Apple TV Plus, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus as another streaming service to utilize Plus in the title. So I guess this is sort of the unofficial new thing that these streaming services are doing. It's owned by Viacom CBS. Fun fact, Viacom owns everything.
Yep.
With television. And you know how I know this? I don't want to go too far on this topic, but you know how I know that? DirecTV loves to fight with people and fight with networks about carrier content and carrier usage. I remember as a kid a couple times when there would be a Viacom blackout with DirecTV. They would have some sort of dispute, monetary dispute, and all Viacom networks, you could not watch them on DirecTV for an indefinite period of time. This was Nickelodeon. This was Spike TV. This was MTV. This was basically, as a kid, all the good TV channels. All the good TV channels. It's like, what the hell? I got to go outside now? But anyway, Viacom CBS, they came out and said that this move to rebrand CBS All Access as Paramount Plus is to, quote-unquote, part of the service's expansion to feature content from Viacom CBS's leading portfolio of broadcast news, sports, and entertainment brands. So what they're essentially doing is they're getting rid of the CBS moniker from it to make it more inclusive, like it's Paramount. And this is, I think, kind of smart in a certain way, because now it makes you understand that it's not just CBS. When I hear CBS, I think Big Brother, I think Survivor, I think 2.5 Men, I think is Mom on that network too,
Yeah.
CBS. You know, yeah, I think of those shows. Where now it's going to be more encompassing with Paramount. And quite honestly, I think this is what HBO Max should have done with Warner Media. Hell, call it Warner Plus, because so many people don't realize with HBO Max, you're not just getting HBO content. You're getting Cartoon Network, you're getting Adult Swim, you're getting TCM. You know, you're getting all these different other
anime,
networks.
like the anime Studio Ghibli.
Yep, that's on there too. So I don't mind the name change because it makes it broader, and I actually think HBO Max could have learned something from this too.
Yeah.
Dominic, your thoughts on Paramount Plus?
Wait, real quick. Dom, why are you Fulton recovering a horse real quick? Can you please explain?
Paramount.
Oh, God. You know what? I'm done.
Paramount.
Yeah.
Okay. Real quick. Viacom owns both Country Music Television (CMT) as well as BET. So just wanna point that out. Nothing to say there. But anyway.
We need a crossover. We need some integration on that front.
Yeah. Lil Nas X. Lil Nas X, the MLK of the country music. No.
Rascal.
No.
RMR.
Rascal.
Rumor.
Yeah, no, you're right. Rascal is that. He's the Malcolm X of. Okay, stop. So the article we chose to talk about this, because usually with news we take it from an actual article, so we're not talking out of our ass. Comes from Slash Film, and the Slash Film, I enjoy to a degree. It's a lot more blogging. It's got a lot more attitude. It's got a lot more opinion in it, and that's it's fine. It has its spot. The Slash Film article is very down on it. Ultimately, it's just another product of the streaming wars. It is what it is, right? It's like how we went from VHS to discs. Okay, who's it going to be? DVD, HD DVD, Blu-ray, Laserdisc, all that stuff, and that was like a fight for 15 years or whatever. Or not even a fight for 15 years, but just like how the market realigned. So it's whatever. It's a lot less messy because we ain't buying physical stuff anymore. It's just a matter of subscription. So in that case, as someone who lived through the horrors of the disc wars and the physical format wars, it is what it is. This is business as usual. Steve, what you brought up about yeah, just kind of expanding the brand with HBO Max in particular. I guess I get what they're going for, because HBO is kind of the elite of out of all of those brands, maybe, because HBO, home to, it changed television with Sopranos and
Game of Thrones.
So many other. Sorry, what?
Game of Thrones. I mean,
The
Yeah,
Wire,
Game of
Carnival.
Yeah.
The Wire. Thank you. That was the one I was talking about. So in that sense, it makes sense that they would put their name to HBO, and then everything else will follow suit. But yeah, I mean, honestly, Paramount to me is just as bland of a name for your brand, for your streaming service, as CBS. Because when I think CBS, as someone who's more in tune with news, as someone who wears a polo, I'm as someone who thinks CBS, I think news. That's all it is now. It's like one of the few last news vestiges in the mainstream that isn't 24/7 and just trying to come up with stories out of their ass. It's old school. It's the home of it's the house that Walter Cronkite and Edward R. Murrow built. So I'm partial to that. But it comes off really dry. So when they change to Paramount, okay, Paramount, I think Indiana Jones. That's cooler. Sure, whatever. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, and how it works in terms of shuffling media around, it's fine. So all the people up in arms about, oh, another name change, dude, at least you ain't gotta have to buy a new Laserdisc player. Sorry, buy a DVD player to replace your Laserdisc player, and then a Blu-ray player to replace that. It's all just subscriptions now. So take it where you can.
100%. And before I throw it over to you, Joe, for the final word, I'll just say, Dominic, you brought up the horrors of physical media and the horrors of buying and purchasing DVDs and stuff. You want to see what the horrors of physical media look like? Go check out my parents' basement. Anyway,
I can imagine.
Back home. Go check that out. Joe, send us home. Your thoughts on Paramount Plus?
Man, these apps, they're getting ridiculous for me, man. I'm losing track of all of them. It starts off as one thing and then it becomes another. One app fails and then somebody buys it and takes all their content away. Netflix is doing with a lot of YouTube Red stuff. Yeah, man, for me, what it seems like is everybody wants to get a streaming service. And then, they test the waters with it. It's all right, is this viable? And it's it kind of is, but we need to be sold to somebody. All of these ones, you have the horror movie one, Slash or something. I forgot what it's called. It's all horror movie content.
Shudder?
Shudder, thank you, yeah.
Shudder.
I feel like that's another one. They're going to go out there, they're going to get their subscribers, prove that they're worth something, and then either Netflix, HBO, someone's going to be like, hey, we'll buy you. And they'll be like, cool, that was the plan all along.
Joe, you're just harping on capitalism, baby.
Yeah,
you're just harping up on startups, which I agree with. So it's annoying.
It's look at DC. DC had their streaming service. They had their fun with it, and then it was just all right, now take all that content and give it to HBO Max. It just seems like that every time with all these, and CBS Access seems like another one. Now it's becoming Paramount, and who knows what Paramount's going to eventually evolve to. I honestly have a thought, and I know this is crazy to think, but Disney Plus to me, because of the limited content on there, and so far the content we had to pay extra for hasn't been that great. I honestly think eventually Disney Plus and Hulu are just going to combine into one app. I really do think that eventually will happen down the line, and just become Hulu Plus or something. I don't know. They might call it that. For me, though, it's great. I think it's a better idea because, yes, like CBS, I think of The Price is Right and the news. That's it. That's all that comes to
Price is Right, yes.
That's all that comes to my head when I think of CBS. I didn't know Nickelodeon content was on there for the longest time. Because actually, before, when the Avatar The Last Airbender stuff came to Netflix, the show, I was like, damn, I want to watch The Legend of Korra, the sequel series. And I was like, where is it, on that I could find it? And I found out it's on CBS All Access, along with SpongeBob and plenty of other Nickelodeon stuff. It's
Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, it's well, what the hell? I didn't know that was on there. Why wasn't it called Viacom Plus or something, man? Because at least then it's okay, well, what does Viacom own? I can look up that. Paramount, I have a better idea. Okay, they own the Transformer movies. They have the Mission Impossible franchise. You got news, you have live sports on here as well. So it's just at least they have that. The logo here that I'll show even on the stream, it breaks it down. Live sports, breaking news, a mountain of entertainment. No pun intended, I guess. Or pun fully intended, actually. For me, it's just another app that, am I going to pay for it? Probably not, unless if there's something really good on there. I'll tell you what, though. The Godfather films are owned by Paramount. So if you want to get something, get that Ford Coppola cut on Paramount Plus as an exclusive.
Yeah.
I think that might attract some people. Get the whole trilogy on there. That might get people to go like, you know what? Yeah, I could definitely do that. Have that be your thing. Because HBO Max, I'm surprised how many people are actually literally like, yeah, I'm only subscribing to it for the Snyder cut. It's like, are you serious? Like, now do that with actually a competently made film like The Godfather, like Godfather Part 3. You might actually get more. I'd love to see too, because like Steve and I talked about this back when Sleepless was on air on 89.1. When they released Annihilation, they knew it wasn't going to do good overseas, and they decided overseas they'll just sell it to Netflix. Well, now it's just like, hey, you know what, man, screw it. The film's probably not going to do that good at home. How about we just give it to our Paramount Plus? We make it a Paramount Plus thing. And if you can get films that are the quality of Annihilation on Paramount Plus, that would be great, honestly. As like exclusives on there, I think that would be good. That will make me actually buy it.
The SpongeBob movie's coming on there too. Sponge on the Run. Yeah.
Is it at no extra cost?
That remains to be seen, but it was going to come to CBS All Access.
Yeah, I remember that.
Paramount Plus. So what we shall see on that. And going back what Joe was referring to briefly, we talked last week about how Francis Ford Coppola made another cut of Godfather Part 3, and it's going to have whatever a theatrical release is going to look like at the end of the year before it hits streaming and DVD. I have every right to believe that it's going to wind up on this platform on Paramount Plus.
If they get stuff like that, like, okay, the SpongeBob movie I'm interested in because I love SpongeBob, but like if they can get like the movie like idea that I was talking about where it's quality like Annihilation and like the Ford Coppola cut, I might subscribe to it to check it out. I don't know if I'll stay long because it's just like, it's really hard to come out as a new app and you just don't have anything lined up. Like, look at Disney Plus, man. Like, it's just like, I'm only sticking around because of what they have on there, and I'm a Disney kid, so I grew up watching a lot of like movies and animated shows. But then I compare, yeah, and it's like, it's literally, as Steve said, it's a babysitter app at this point. But like stuff like Apple TV Plus and all these other ones, like what the hell is Mint Mobile Plus? It's Ryan Reynolds' app. I don't even know what the hell's on there. Or even the new episodes every day of whatever the hell that phone one is. Squibby, whatever, Quibi. Yeah,
oh my God, Quibi's a freaking meme. That's Katzenberg for you, man. That is.
Like,
oh boy.
I look at that and it's just like, there's nothing on there for me because it's just like, yeah, well, it's new episodes every day. It's just like, there hasn't been anything. It really sucks because it's just like the titans themselves, Amazon, Hulu, Netflix, and screw it, I'll throw HBO on there. They have proven they have content for you to see and new content along the way that you're going to enjoy. And it's just like, it's really hard to be this new app to try and get subscribers. Like, that's why I always think that eventually stuff's just going to combine into one, and it's just going to be left to like Big Four again or something.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong on that. I'll end it with this. I'm waiting for the rebrand of NBC's new app, Peacock. They should call it Cock Plus. At any rate, that's our show. I didn't even get a flinch from Dom on that one. Jesus Christ.